just like the Academic Senate will be issuing formal comments and feedback on it. That's your opportunity both to learn more about what happens all across this campus and to tell us who are in the provost's office and in the leadership team writing this report, what did we miss, right? What did we get wrong? What did we state incorrectly? Where do you think we're doing something really great? And where do you think we actually need to focus more on improvement? Because this is not a beauty contest. We are not trying to make our accreditor think that there are no problems here. We're actually trying to show them and demonstrate to them that we know what our strengths and our weaknesses are, and that we're actively trying to improve on those weaknesses. So when you receive the opportunity to provide feedback to this report, please do. If you want to read the whole thing, by all means do it. It'll be a little bit long. It's going to be about 75 pages with a whole bunch of appendices, but there will be a table of contents. You can drill into different areas that you know about or that you want to learn more about. And we really do look forward to receiving your feedback on that report when you have a chance to do so. So I think that I will stop there. And I think that my remaining job is to introduce our Chief Human Resources Officer, Alex Nahara. So thanks for the time. Oh, you mean to like between? Getting ourselves set up, folks. Okay. I'm going to try to test technology today and show you a video and not mess up the PowerPoint all at one time. It's part of my performance evaluation. We'll see if it works. Okay, so Ken and I work very closely on many of the items that he just described, and we did not coordinate our presentations. You'll see one of my slides speaks directly to the strategic goal and strategic plan for UCR. All right. And for the video, do I just like hit Q or do I just, all right, we'll see how this goes. All right, everyone. So I have had the pleasure of serving in this role now for 2.5 years. Time has gone by fast, and yet it feels like it's been a long time, 2.5 years. If you've hung out with me at all or come to these presentations previously, you've seen this before. At least I hope you have. And this is what HR is operating under, which is what we call our ethos. So again, ethos, put it in a nutshell, it's who we are and how we work and what our culture is about. And so for us, we focus on these 5 core areas: employee success, well-being and retention, technology enhancements, human capital investment and succession planning, operational agility and business continuity, service, stability, and sustainability. You'll notice that that is nothing that says HR specific. These are universal truths that can be applied and should be applied across all of the campus and the work that you're doing. But this is what drives us when we're thinking, what needs to be done for staff? What do we need to do to help position the campus to go forward for the next year, 3, 5, 10? This is what helps create the framework for us. Today, I'm going to be focusing on employee success and well-being and a little bit on human capital investment. Okay, so here's where it's going to get tricky. I'm going to try to play a video and then come back to this. So they told me it's queued up. This is one to give recognition to our Healthy Campus initiative a year ago, and you'll hear about it in the video. We signed off to the Okanagan Charter, and since then, our staff, our volunteers have been hard at work to bring this well-being initiative to the campus and make it very available to you. But I'll let you watch this video of Vice Chancellor Denise Woods and myself talking a little bit about this initiative.
Hi, my name is Denise Woods, and if I haven't had the privilege of meeting you yet, I'm UCR's Vice Chancellor for Health, Wellbeing, and Safety. In spring 2024, we had a kickoff event to announce the university as a proud member of the Okanagan Charter, which is an international charter for health promoting universities and colleges. The charter calls on us to embed health into all facets of campus culture. and to become leaders of health promotion locally and globally. I'm honored to announce the naming of the health promotion movement at UCR as Our Healthy Campus, a new era of well-being with the Okanagan Charter. But why is this so important? I have my good friend here, Alex, who's going to explain.
Thanks, Denise. My name is Alex Nakata, UCR's Chief Human Resource Officer. The Okanagan Charter isn't just a document we sign, it's a philosophy we live by, and a demonstration of our commitment to the well-being of the Highlander campus community, students, faculty, and staff alike. Our Healthy Campus furthers our belief that well-being isn't just a nice to have, it's a fundamental necessity. It's about recognizing that a healthy, happy community is a thriving community. And at UCR, we believe that well-being extends beyond the individual. When our students feel supported and empowered to prioritize their well-being, they excel academically. When our faculty and staff feel valued, cared for, they're more engaged and productive. Our Healthy Campus is about creating practices, policies, and an environment that ensures that everyone at UCR has the tools and support they need to thrive. And that's a commitment UCR is proud to make for the benefit of our entire community. Denise, I am really excited about the transformational power of Our Healthy Campus at UCR. How about you?
So excited, okay? So excited. Health, well-being, sustainability, equity, these are all pillars that are going to help our students succeed and help our campus thrive. But we can't do it without your support. We're just getting started. Are you with us?
All right, let me see if I can get this back. Let's see, already struggling. Would you help, please? All right, so while Melanie is helping me there, you know, that video, it definitely communicates our truths, but I want you to know, and I need you to hear this directly from me, this is absolutely central to the success of our campus, to our students, to our faculty, but most critically to our staff. It is central that you and we as your institution are working out to try to look out for your well-being, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. These are all aspects of your well-being that are critical for us to invest in. And we'll get into a few slides on some of the ways we are investing on some of these areas, but we want you to really make this a priority for yourself as well. Work, show of hands if you agree with this, work can be hard sometimes. Some days aren't perfect. And on occasion, you have some difficult times. And so your well-being is central to you being able to meet your purpose, not just at work, but at home. You're a full person. And while your value and contributions here are critical, I'm guessing they're even more important in your personal life. And so as your employer, it is central for us. We go back, up. One more, right, where's Oski, or Scotty? Always reminds you of Oski. It's a bear. Okay, as I was getting to that point, that video is an official kickoff of that initiative. We have, and as I go to meet other UCs and other higher ed campuses and other employers, we have an incredible amount of resources here. And I want you to know that it is our stated objective, not just to provide programming, but to remove barriers that prevent you from investing in yourself, in your well-being, and in your professional development. That you need to know is central to what we do. And so I'm going to ask that as we move forward with this, especially as we walk into some challenging times ahead of us. It's been a rough year. It's not going to get easier anytime soon. But it's in these moments, to the points made, that we need to stick together and press forward, doing the things that feed us and keep us grounded. Your well-being is part of it. And so one of the things we really want to do is to mobilize the UCR community and embed health and wellness into all aspects of campus culture. So we have a new website that is going to launch. We have a listserv and newsletters. We have action groups that are focusing on different ways to get involved, not just for you as an individual, but as a change maker. And so we hope, beyond focusing on your individual well-being, that you'll consider being part of one of our action groups. Is there a policy that HR needs to look at and change? Are there items that the campus needs to invest in to support you better? Do you think there are sustainable practices that are good for the environment and good for yourself and your colleagues? These things matter. And what we're trying to do is get out of the theoretical and into the practical. So I'm hoping that you'll put as one of your goals for this coming year, joining us in one of these groups. We have a tremendous group of volunteers, and we know that we're looking for fiscal year 26 to invest. We have received some very generous funding from the Division of Health, Wellbeing, and Safety, and we plan to use that to do some really great programming for you. We'd love to have you help us do that. The next thing I wanted to talk about was human capital investment and succession planning. So in other words, employee and organizational development. Before I get here, oh, it didn't make it to that slide. Okay, well, so this is what happens when I keep changing the presentation up to the actual session. So imagine that there's a picture of a vehicle going up a very steep mountain with a broken road. I talked to leaders, your people leaders, about the importance of employee and organizational development, about the importance of investing in you. And so if you hang out with me, I speak in a lot of analogies. The analogy I try to communicate to people is, imagine you've just purchased a very luxurious vehicle. And in that process, you've decided as a supervisor or as an individual that you're not going to make sure to invest in gas, oil, basic maintenance, tires for this vehicle. Because in the short term, it saves you money. You didn't pay for that gas, you didn't change the oil, you didn't have to pay for those tires, which get very expensive. But in the long run, the result of that, for those of you who are auto folks, what happens if you don't change the oil in your vehicle? All right? What happens when you run the tread on your tires down? Some dysfunction. And if you keep at that long enough, that car eventually breaks down. If you're lucky, you make it far enough, but not efficiently. Most likely, if you don't take care of your vehicle, it falls apart. That's what happens when we as a university don't invest in you as staff. I know that budget times are tough, and they're not going to get easy in the next year or two. That is not a reason not to invest in yourself. It's not a reason for us not to invest in you as staff. It's important. If we don't do that regular maintenance and development, long term, the whole purpose of this university falls apart. So I really stress, for those of you who are supervisors here, really look at your staff and see what could be possible and continue to invest in them, even with the challenges we're facing. Now you might be thinking, Alex, that's really easy to say because, hey, you're HR, that's what you do. You've got money for that. Well, I want to let you know that I grew up poor. I grew up in Rialto, and we were lucky if we had enough to cover the basics. So I am always looking at how do we save $1? How can we leverage things so people can access it? Access. As a student who came from Rialto, access was so important. And access is important for you also as you're pursuing your professional development. So our EOD staff has been hard at work to push how do we make access to development more possible. And so a few things we want to highlight. We hired staff that would actually provide more courses and certifications at low to no cost to you so that there could be a bandwidth. When I got here, we had one trainer for the entire campus. We are now up to 3 because we are investing in the people that invest in you. We've reduced the cost and the financial barriers to get into training. almost by a third. And if we have a chance, we'll reduce it a little bit more this next coming fiscal year. Because what I don't want to hear is, my department said they couldn't give me $200. All right, I get it. What can we do for free? We've increased the availability of professional development courses that meet employees where they are with what they want to learn. We have in-person on occasion for those who love that, a lot of instructor-led virtual because you're working in different places and spaces. And a lot of those are free. We've invested in a special program, the Addressing Bias and Bigotry Initiative, that was focused on developing skill sets for your supervisors and leaders, but we also identified high potential individual contributors and student leaders that we see are potential staff in the future. And they're getting a 360 evaluation, a Franklin Covey Access Pass, several courses for them to take, things that we think would be helpful for you in your role. And then I want to highlight the tremendous success that we've had recently with the recent UCR staff conference. We had over 1,000 total registrants this past year. It just continues to skyrocket. This is a tremendous opportunity that's free to all of you with some wonderful speakers that we use our contacts to leverage and make possible. And it's not just that UCR is doing a great conference for UCR. We had 11 other UC locations join our event. Next to Berkeley, and I'd say we do it better than Berkeley, next to Berkeley, we are the only other campus that does this. We've got Office of the President, A&R, LA, San Diego. People don't realize just what UCR has to offer, and they're coming to that realization. But I have to say, we couldn't do that without our EOD team, which is Shauna and Joanna, our staff assembly group, Sarah, Melanie, Paige. They were volunteering on top of their regular work to make this happen. And our lead team with Erica, Brittany, Christina, and Tanya. Those individuals, when I talked about being part of an action group to make the possibility better for you, they stepped up and did that. And they made a conference totally for free with over 1,000 participants possible and enough to attract attention of 11 other UC locations. I would like to give them a round of applause for their work. You're like, okay, Alex, that's nice, but for some of you may be data nerds like myself. You want to look at what are the metrics we're looking at, which is one of the things that we actually started instituting at HR is, can we look at some data? It's nice to say we've got all these things, but what are the improvements? So this was fiscal year 24, ending in June 2024. This was an improvement over the data we could collect before. We had 1,826 participants. We had 43 classes that are considered open classes, which means those are the ones that are open to the general public through LMS. We had 47 ad hoc sessions, orgs who say, hey, can you come over here and do something for us? And we had, in total, for the ad hoc sessions, close to 1,200 participants. Really, really good numbers, solid numbers. But this is what we said, okay, this is our baseline. How do we go and increase and improve this aspect? And so here are our numbers this year, not completed. You'll notice our total participation rate has gone up by over 10%. That's tremendous. We have more classes available for you. Again, almost all of them free of charge. We've had more sessions and more participants as orgs say, hey, EOD, come and invest in us. Can you come and do a special session for us on this activity? And our engagement rate went from 0.31 to 0.42. Our goal is to get above 50, but we're moving in the right direction. And again, this is in less than a year. So why am I showing you all of this? I'm trying to eliminate the financial and operational barriers. If you've been here long enough, somewhere in the back of your mind, you may have gotten this idea that learning and development doesn't matter, or it's not something that the campus is investing in. And it's not true. We are here to invest in you, and we need your help to make sure we're investing in you in the right ways. So to Ken's point, alignment with the UCR strategic goal, investing in the success of people who teach, do research, work, learn, and live at UCR. That is you. Me, this is us. When we invest in you, when you invest in yourself, employee learning and development will build a skilled and adaptable workforce essential for UCR's success. I love my job, but HR can be brutal, and I don't want to do it for 20 more years. Someone's got to step in behind me. Investing in our employee growth and career progression aligns with valuing and retaining talent, which is going to be critical as we walk into a time where we can't hire as many people. Learning and development opportunities promote a culture of excellence, innovation, empowering employees to contribute to the UCR mission. When I meet with WASC accreditors, this is what we're going to say, what we're aiming toward. This is what we're going to point to in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. And I'll go down to the final little bullet points here. 3 simple and powerful things supervisors can do. Have regular development conversations with your staff. For those of you who are leaders, help people realize that you care. Our campus is resilient. A very critical factor to that is people realizing that they're seen and they're needed. Help connect employees with resources. I have a ton of things that we can provide coming to your organization, to your groups, or just online. And then it's blocked out here, but it says, if I can see it, provide the opportunity to apply the skills. It's not enough to say, I went to a LinkedIn course. You need to have the chance to apply it. We have to build the car that will go the distance into the future. And so one thing that I haven't put on the slide, but that I did share with the provost for this year, we are going to take those metrics that I shared with you, and we're going to go and meet with every single org leader in this coming fiscal year and talk about how that org is investing in development opportunities for their staff, and how can we as HR meet them there to make more opportunities possible. If they're doing great, fantastic. How do we do more? So that will be one of HR's strategic goals in this fiscal year. And I spoke with Alex Rollins, who's our director of EOD. That is part of her performance goal this coming year. And so we will meet with all your org heads. Please take this message seriously. If you think this can't be possible in your org, come and talk to me. Not because there's anything wrong with your organization, but sometimes people need to be shown the way that it can happen. And that's what our job in HR is. How do we help make this a possibility? And I've gone over my time, but I had warned people that I would. The last thing I wanted to do was to thank you. So here, this was at the Transfer Highlander Day. This is my 2nd and 5th grader. I came to Riverside 30 years ago, undocumented, 1st gen, no idea about college. And I met staff that helped me feel welcomed, seen, and gave me the sense of possibility. Now, my kids are not 1st gen, and they're not struggling in the same way my family did, but guess what? When they came to this event, those are exactly the things they felt from you as they went from booth to booth. This is powerful. I'm not kidding when I say that you are transforming the generation to come. They loved it so much that they said, Dad, can you stay there as long as possible so I can go to school there? And I said, yes, enrollment, up 2%. But truthfully, I didn't prime them. It was the kindness and the interest that each of you had there. And if you can do that for 2 kids who have higher ed in their household all the time, imagine the transformative effect you have on those families who are sending their kids for the first time. So thank you for what you did for me 30 plus years ago. And thank you for what you did for my daughters and for what you're doing for everyone else. And we hope you will invest in yourself as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Alex, for leading our HR team and putting together such a great training and resources collection for all of us to take advantage of. So up next, I would like to bring up our current Director of Professional Development, Sarah Dillon, who is your Vice President, President-elect for next year. Everybody, let's hear it for Sarah. And also our co-director of events, Brianna Ellico.
Good afternoon, everybody. We would like to continue this afternoon celebrating those who are retiring from UCR. First, Caesar Pla. Congratulations. 20 years of service, John Shannon. "22 years of service, Deborah Delgado. "24 years of service, Scott Jackson. No Scott Jackson? Okay. 25 years of service, Vanessa Evans. "29 years of service, Paul Richardson. "40 years of service, Barbara Otzen-Hale. And now for recipients of 5-year milestones.
If you are here for your 5-year, please line up at the side over here. We'll call your name. Okay. Michael Schmelzel. Congratulations. You want to go over there? Michelle Gomez. Timothy Gorney. Congratulations. Elle Kano. Jill Barber. Cynthia Anderson. Congratulations. Brock Cabot. David Maria. Congratulations to all of our 5-year service anniversaries. Yeah.
Celebrating 10 years of service, Samprantana Creighton. I'm not sure. Leanne Gilmer. Costantino Samano. Mandy Cohen. Congratulations. Lacey Graw. Patrick Napier. Oh, sorry. What are Jonathan Godoy. Melissa Bill. Alex Howard. Tom Wininich. Sorry if I butchered that.
Okay, everybody with 15 years of service, please line up. Here we go. Samantha Hodge. Lindy Alsman.
Celebrating 20 years.
Got a lot of you.
Greg Renee. Rocio Stern. Robin Testa. Wanda Barajas. Sandra Danford. Juan Garcia. Rudy Curiel. Got Griselda Rodriguez. John Shannon. Soraya Tansel. Araceli Garcia.
Okay, 25 years of service. 25 years. What were you doing in 2000? 25 years. Okay. Frank Lopez. Ostroberto Delgado. Is that you?
Celebrating 30 years of service. Dan Cizalgi. Congratulations. Sarah Clawitter. Thank you.
And we did have a 35-year. They did not check in. If they are here, a big round of applause for Sherry Morgan and Patricia Anderson.
The total years of service, 1,710 years.
So congratulations to all of our milestone recipients. Let's hear one more round of applause for all of those years of service. And then before we break for the day, of course, everybody's favorite part, which is the raffle prize drawing. So let's go ahead and call up Brianna and Kate, Annalicia and Sarah. So you two are already here. Coming up with the tickets. And then we'll have you pick up your prize at the back table with Annalicia. She's going back that way. So Sarah, do you want to pick? You want to announce? Sure. I'll stand off to the side to do the closing.
795,936. 5936 are your last four. Congratulations. Please make your way to the back table and choose your prize. The last four, 6002. 6002. Are you here? Congratulations. Please make your way to the back table. Let us know the next number. Get excited. Last four, 5984. Congratulations. Last four, 5994. Congratulations. Last four, 6116. 6116. Going once. Going twice. Moving on. Okay. Last four, 5999. Congratulations. Okay, last four, 5956. Congratulations. Two more. Last four, 6026. 6026. Congratulations. And our last winner is 6036. Congratulations. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you again for joining us today. Thank you for being the phenomenal community of people that you are. Every time I meet more UCR staff, I absolutely love everybody that I meet. So keep up the good work, everybody. Have a great day.